we had the fires going on, and
They're still going on.
No, they're still going on, and this kind of flew under the radar. Still very crazy news coming out of Venezuela. Okay, just for context, why is this happening? All right, today, the 10th, Maduro was set to be sworn in as for his third term as president of Venezuela.
Okay, I thought he lost.
Good question, Vinny. You're on point.
I'm following.
All right.
I'm good brain.
So, he did technically, allegedly lose the election to María Corina Machado, who wasn't technically running the election because she wasn't allowed to run, so she used a proxy candidate. But her team, in general, they won the election. Okay. All right? So she called for a peaceful but massive protest. There was protests in Caracas, Venezuela. There was protests in Buenos Aires. There was protests in Colombia. And this was the last picture, if we put it on the screen.
Could you see this?
That we got from María Corina Machado.
Where is she?
That's her?
That the one with the helmet in the back
the
of
one that's trying to get on.
The one that's trying to get on. That was the last picture we got from her before she got allegedly arrested or kidnapped, if you don't believe that the Maduro regime is the right government.
Oh, man.
That's crazy
First of all, what a horrible... Why? This is Venezuela. Why are you putting yourself out there? All the people... Show that photo again. Look at that pandemonium. Look at that chaos. Look at the guy with the mask. How are you trusting anybody, bro? Are you nuts? Look at that. Thanks, guys. Look at that. I don't want to be around any of those people, bro. You don't know who's going to have a knife, a gun, or...
Like, the thing is that she's safe there. Like, most of the people are...
It takes a couple of people to be like, I'm still loyal to Maduro.
Think anyone that has no connection to Maduro's government is with her. Like, probably the 90% of the country is tired of being, whatever is going on there. And it's been 25 years. So, here's a picture of Maduro finally assuming his third mandate. Allegedly.
And Rob, you can... probably speak to this just because of your involvement with PBD podcast. When Patrick talked to María Corina Machado a few months ago, like, she was in hiding at that point. She's been in hiding since the election.
Yeah,
she came out for this.
Very rare that we do Zoom interviews. Normally everything is in person, and I believe we even discussed potentially going to her, but she was in an undisclosed location and could not reveal where she was at because it was a security risk at that time, and that was 3 or 4 months ago.
Yeah, and so she left hiding to come out for this protest and immediately got grabbed.
Yeah, she promised that she was going to come out of hiding when the time was right. That is basically the day before Maduro assumed power. So there's a couple of things going on here. If we go to the next video, this is, that's Eduardo, the president, that will be elect. He's a really old man that, took one for the team, took one for the country, and wrote himself in to be able to, for María Corina to be able to run. And this is the climate that they're living right there. This is
literally, show that video.
She's walking down the street, absolutely peaceful, and you see the reaction of Maduro's,
the National Guard guys.
Yeah, the National Guard guys. The National Guard guys have a terrible track record of human, rights and it's terrible. Like, I didn't put them here for obvious reasons, but they pile up bodies. Like, they say around 40,000 people have died since Chavez went into power by political assassination.
Oh, man. And how loyal are these soldiers to him?
Well, as long as they're greased, as long as they're paid, you have 2 layers. You have everyone that works as a soldier, and then you have everyone that is actually making money off the government. A lot of these scumbags, they live in Miami. So whenever someone says, oh, we're going to bring this guest from Venezuela that lives in Miami, I'm always wary because those guys, they do a lot of the money laundering for the Venezuelan government. So, like, I mistrust most, high-level Miami Venezuelans.
So let me ask you a question. If, God forbid, something happens to her and she dies, does all hell break loose? Is it a war? Because, if you're saying 90% of the people are for her, if she's dead, first of all, she's kidnapped. I already think, like, if God forbid somebody kidnapped Trump or did some crazy shit like this, we are going bananas. We are going to go, not civil war. It's going to be a different situation. So my thing is this: you know who he is. You know Maduro's the villain. You know he's cheating. You know he's lying. He's swearing himself in. If she dies, what happens?
Nothing.
Why?
Because the thing is, you need to understand that this has been going on for 25 years.
Yeah.
Like, all the top brains of the country, everyone that is smart, capable, they grabbed their things and and left. Then the repression of the people, like the tracking, reading of the emails, people being grabbed, people being tortured. It's been going on for 25 years. So you barely have a physical resistance to this government. You have most people that you have old people, you have kids and people that need to work for a living that don't have time or the resources to start a revolution.
Jeez.
Fortunately, and this is a video from Congresswoman Salazar after the kidnapping, and I had to. This is really weird. I had to translate a U.S. congressman speaking in Spanish into English.
Really?
So this is translated.
She's one of our.
Yeah, she is a U.S. congresswoman.
From what state?
I think she's from Florida.
Okay.
All right. So this is a translated version of what the congressman said in Spanish in English.
Okay.
So I reverted what she said back to English.
Go ahead.
The latest information we have is that María Corina has just been released. Very good on the part of the Maduro regime, which realizes that they are weak, because what is strong is her. She is highly strong. And that Venezuelan people that are in the streets, that what they are shouting is freedom. But we know that once President Trump gets to the White House, the game for Venezuela is over. It's a warning that remains in effect for the Maduro regime.
So now, wait a minute. So she was speaking Spanish, you translated in English, and there's an Indian lady translating. She's like, I want you to go down to Venezuela.
I don't know why
so
they
funny.
give her such a heavy Latino
heavy Indian accent.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, but go ahead.
But hey, it's AI. It's fast.
I know, I get it.
And you guys got the gist of it.
Got it.
And here's the Truth Social post. How do you call it Truth Social post, Brandon?
How what? It's a truth.
It's a truth
Yeah.
post.
You call
it's a truth post.
Yeah, because then when you retweet, it's retruths.
Yeah, it's not a tweet. It's a truth.
It's a truth. So this is the truth?
All right. So this is the truth from DJT. Venezuelan democracy activist Maria Corina Machado and President-elect Gonzalez are peacefully expressing the voices and will of the Venezuelan people, with hundreds of thousands of people demonstrating against the regime. The great Venezuelan American community in the United States overwhelmingly supports Free Venezuela and strongly supported me. These freedom fighters should not be harmed and must stay safe and alive.
I was hoping for a stronger one.
I
said that yesterday.
That's the point that I want to make. I mean, you guys, you saw me on the last show gushing over DJT. I love the guy.
I know you do.
But I think he at the same time, he made me like Marco Rubio in a weird way, because I think our biggest threat in foreign policy is whatever is in the southern border and whatever is coming from South America.
I agree.
And I think it was last year, I think Venezuelans beat Mexicans in immigration in the United States.
And they took over apartment complexes in Colorado where they're freaking beating the shit out of people and stabbing
But what's
them.
also kind of funny is that, like, Trump makes this point, but I think he could make it much stronger. To reference back to what he says there, the great Venezuelan American community in the United States overwhelmingly supports a free Venezuela and strongly supported me. In 2020, the two groups of Hispanic immigrants that Trump vastly overperformed with were Cubans and Venezuelans.
Yes, because they want freedom.
Because those are the groups that escaped communism to get here. Now, the later waves of Venezuelans, like the ones taking over apartment complexes in Colorado, are obviously not Trump supporters. They came here under Biden's open border. But also in 2020, a bunch of media outlets started writing articles about how Trump was pandering to Cubans and Venezuelans because he was offering them pathways to become white people. He was helping them move away from the immigrant status and welcoming them into his white supremacist movement by pretending that those are white people. And of course, that's ridiculous. It's just people who didn't want further communist socialist policies to follow them.
That's the thing. If you see the tone of what he offered to do in the Israel situation, it was like, I want to rain hellfire.
Right.
And in this situation, that it's rocks thrown away from, like, it's right there. Like, people actually walk from there here.
Yeah, why can't we say that he doesn't acknowledge what's his name?
And the policy, like, I think Trump, to his defense, he had the best policy against, Maduro. Not against Venezuela, against Maduro. On the years he was in power, he lifted up the sanctions, and it was working. They were run to the ground. Biden comes in. Same with the Iran sanctions. He took them out. He took out the Venezuela sanctions, and then he managed to rise up. Now, on a really weird tweet.
Well, can I answer your question? Yeah. Were you guys actually asking why he's not that harsh with Venezuela, but then he's so pro and Israel.
I get why he has to be that way.
I mean,
with
he has.
Israel,
If you think about
but
Congress and AIPAC, and I mean, just the people that are in, you know what I mean, that are in charge. Of course, he's going to be the pro-Israel side. I mean, he has to be.
I get that part. Why he has to be with Israel, but why can't he match that with Venezuela?
I mean, how many different?
You'd think they'd actually they'd want to do like the military-industrial complex would want conflict in Venezuela. Because Venezuela is like one of the most oil-rich countries in South America.
Like
if we invaded
care
Venezuela,
about keeping the price artificially high at the same time too. So like the scary thing for oil companies is for the price to go low.
The economic benefits of taking action in Venezuela, like they're incredible. Like not taking them over, but helping them out. We'll get oil on the cheap, very close to America to ship it back here. A lot of very cheap energy for Americans in general. Most people that came here from Venezuela, it's not that they hate Venezuela. Venezuela is a beautiful country with beautiful women, great dancing, great food.
I love dancing.
And Vinny, I bet you if they fix the situation there, a lot of them will leave back to Venezuela.
Oh really? Oh, that's the key goal, isn't it?
I think the majority will leave back to
Venezuela.
Venezuela.
Why wouldn't you want to be in your home? I mean,
why wouldn't you
want to
be in your it's his best country, but I'm here by choice, not by need, you know. So that's one thing.
Are you mentioning Blinken, or could I say that?
Oh yeah, just sprinkle a little Blinken.
Can we take a second to hate on this weak, pathetic pussy Blinken who came out and said the day that he stole this election, he comes out and he's like, oh yeah, we're taking this seriously and we're gonna look really closely into this, and we haven't heard a peep from him since then. So like, what are you doing aside from trying to drag us into war with Russia? Like he hasn't done a single thing to help with this.
I know, nothing.
It's his job.
No,
what's
he's
his
made it
job
worse.
title?
Secretary of State.
Secretary of State. Oh, that guy is the.
Where are the good old days where the CIA used to be able to pull off coups in South America on a weekly basis?
Yeah, what happened?
You think they would continue to do that?
Well, sometimes Bay of Pigs they failed.
All right,
they messed up.
Well, they didn't want that one to succeed.
Let's get this going. Our boy
this is
Nayib Bukele. This is a really weird one. He posted this tweet during yesterday's violence in Venezuela. I don't know if you guys can see it. He posted this Caracas, mostly clear skies, right there. And this a doer. This guy's a doer. He does think. He goes like, okay, I'm gonna go to this neighborhood. I'm gonna grab all this, gang members, and I'm gonna put them in jail.
Good.
He grabs the truck and he goes get it. And then he posted this image.
This is random. What is it?
And he's not a guy that talks BS. Like if he posts something, he will follow through. Apparently during the protest, when she was being kidnapped, she dropped her blue bag. So he posted a picture of a blue bag, and this has people on the Maduro regime going crazy because they know that if this guy, who has good friends, he's good friends with Elon Musk, he's good friends with Trump.
If he's involved, they're
going to see something different coming. And lastly, because I don't want to be selfish, like why do Americans should care about this? And I brought a good chart. Great chart.
Look at that. I love charts. They're the best statistic charts.
So this is legal migration. Legal. All right. 7.7 million Venezuelans left since 2015.
Wow.
Out of them, legally, like they're here registered, we have 500,000 Venezuelans living here.
Good for them.
All right.
Legal.
Spain, 477,000. So whatever is going on in Venezuela doesn't only affect Venezuela. This affects this country a lot. It drives down wages. You name it. Like all the problems that come with illegal immigration, and I think it's something we should pay attention. And Cuba, you remember the Cuban Missile Crisis? We were 1 second from extinction. Okay. We have the Venezuelans there. That we have large reserves of oil that we can work with. And I think what they're doing here, the policy in America about South America, needs to be stepped up. And that's why I'm kind of glad that more people with voices are coming through. Because we need to fix this because it affects us directly.
I agree. And, dude, when I see something like that, when I see her out there and, like, pushing back against the national, whoever the hell they heard, the military, and, like, those are, like, bro, God chooses people like that and they answer the call. She's one of those people, bro. She knows her life is at risk for the rest of her life. With that guy Maduro around, she's a threat, bro. Yeah. She's a threat. I mean, have they heard anything? The congresswoman said that she was released?
Yeah, she was released.
So she wasn't shot?
No, she wasn't shot. Okay. The first news that came out, she was either shot, kidnapped, or not kidnapped. And then she was released. they did make her do some weird videos while she was captive.
Oh, they probably brainwashed her. They probably MK'd Ultra'd her.
Yeah.
But
Venezuelan style.
but it's a very
MK,
very
MK Ultrado, Ultraderino, or something like that.
yeah, very serious situation.
MK Ultra.
MK
It's
otra vez.
hilarious. But yeah, dude, I hope the best for the country. But I mean, the fact that this guy took over illegally, I mean, unless the people say, enough is enough, it's never going to change.
That's a scary thing, and this is a lesson for America. Before we go to this, he won an actual free election. All right. So when you start moving towards socialism, and on the 21st century comes by democracy. You can see California, you can see anywhere else. They come democratically. You let them in, and they stay forever. So watch out who you vote for.
Okay. So if you like this clip, click right here, and if you want to see more like it, click right here. Stay angry, Patriots.